What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a live show, as we always do after we play a game, and we played our last preseason game. So we will go over that a little bit. Go over um, the latest news that has been dropping, and it's weird news. It's very confusing news. It's not news that anyone was hoping for. I'm gonna discuss that separately on a video as well, but here with you guys as well, because we are linked with Berardi. Kostic is now definitely for sale, I'm gonna say, if you want to suggest that, even though there's still no team being mentioned in terms of money. Any team, like, the rumors are a Premier League club is interested, but that's not really a good source, if I'm being completely honest. If you put it like that, it's easy to say teams are in for Kostic, but if you don't name which team, then it doesn't hold that much value, to be honest. Let me get this up really quickly. Um, is my sound okay? Because it's giving me feedback. But let's talk about yesterday a little bit, because I think that was key. I think that was key. What happened? Some key things happened yesterday, because again, we play. It's actually it's match week. In an hour, it's match week for me. So it's here. No preseason games, whatever. I think because we play Udinese, it's maybe like full circle, because not even like it feels yesterday when I was doing my last match reaction, I ended it with saying, or I started it with saying, it's finally over, and here we are again. It feels like it's a couple of weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, and not 2 months ago, basically. But we play Udinese again. We play Udinese again. Okay, sorry, that was that. We play Udinese again, who I don't think had the best of transfer market, or like it didn't do any spectacular things. But are we ready? And we need to base that, or I'm gonna base that on yesterday's game, not on the first preseason games where I saw things. But I think yesterday's game is more important in that regard. We we are ready. Or, personally, I think that if we're gonna win or not, let's see. But we're ready to beat Udinese and Bologna. There's no excuse. I don't want to hear an excuse for not beating Udinese and Bologna. Not from the players, not from the fans, not from Allegri. I don't want to hear anything, because if you don't beat those two teams, then what is that saying about the season you're going into? Because all preseason, and even at the end of last season, during the last season, last couple of games, all the things that came out from Allegri, especially Allegri, was like, this team is learning. This team will be better next season. Um, this team has gone through a lot, and they still have done a fantastic job. All those things, saying we should be competing for the title. That's what he said. I remember I was at the stadium for the Napoli game that we lost. And I remember walking out of that stadium, walking back to the bus, and I was hungry. I was like, I'm gonna get something to eat, and they had they had Sky Italia on. And at that moment in time, Allegri was doing not his presser, like his interview face to face, and he said, next season we will compete, we will push for the title. Those were his words. When I said it last season as well, he said it the season before. When I bring up it's a failure, and people say, oh, but this and this happened, and he didn't, it's not all on him. I'm like, fine, but the players last season didn't say we're going to compete. They say we will try to compete. It was Allegri who said we're going to compete, so I'm going to hold him to it. He said it post Napoli. I will never forget it, because I heard him saying it. I'm going to hold him to it, because he knew the situation of the club is going to be. So we need to compete for the title. Do I believe in it? No. Like, I don't believe it, but he believes. He told us we're gonna do it. So based on that, do it. You do it now. You're gonna compete, and you're gonna not win it, but you're gonna push them all the way, basically, because that's what I've been told. That you know, um, that's what we're gonna do according to Allegri himself. So now you do it. Prove it that you were right, and that this team is better than everybody thinks, and that you are gonna compete with the likes of Napoli and Inter. Um, so based on that, I think we're ready for the first two season games, two games in Serie A, because after that we have no, we don't have. I think we have one more game, I think, and then we have the international break, right? Um, you need to go into the international break with 9 points out of 9. I don't know which the third what the third game is in September. I forgot. Um, but yeah, there are no excuses. We need to have a good start. We need to have a good start. Now let's go back to yesterday a little bit, because I think there were some indications for Sunday. So a week from now, actually a week from now, literally, I'm recording my match reaction, or I just dropped my match reaction. But the 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 positive signs, or like the interesting things that happened yesterday, I think, is that the more I think about it, like Kostic not playing, actually that was a big thing for me. Empoli, that's right. I knew that because I was making graphics for that game already, and I I prepped the Napoli game, Empoli game as well. But Cambiaso starting, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, that could be a thing. Going off the links from Kostic today that he could leave, I was like, maybe that could be a thing. That could be a thing of we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna change. Kostic, your time is up, because we have different type of players, and we need to produce a different type of offense, in my opinion, because it's very predictable. Especially last season, it was so predictable that it was actually easy to play us. It were we playing PSG, or were we playing Maccabi, or were we playing Lecce, whatever? We were very predictable. There was a time we didn't score like more than 2 goals in a game. I don't know. I think somebody knows the streak, and it was embarrassing. Like, it was embarrassing. Yet, worst teams are not such a run. So Cambiaso starting yesterday and actually playing well. Can you bench him? Like, if you were being completely honest, like, Junior deserves to start, because based on last season towards the back end, when Kostic, and it wasn't all his fault from Kostic last season, because he was like, Allegri ran him into the ground. He was playing him week in, week out, 90 minutes. It was ridiculous. And we were screaming for Kostic. So maybe it's not fair towards Kostic for now Cambiaso to start. But in 3-5-2, that might be the best solution. Now, you like it or not, I don't like it, 3-5-2. But it could be the best solution. Now, let me talk about the Kostic situation really quickly. Not too much, because I'm going to make a video daily on it to actually go into the news. I think Kostic gets hate. Like, how do I need to... Like, you cannot rate Kostic what he does on the field. His performances, whatever you want to call it, who he is as a player, I will put it that way. And I get that, because that cannot be your cup of tea. And it's not a player that I am like, oh my God, I'm going to go to the stadium to watch Kostic play. I don't think he's that type of player, and that's fine. When he signed, I said, I know what Kostic is. So my expectations, I'm not getting disappointed. I'm not angry when I see Kostic play, because I know who Kostic is as a player. He is get the ball, look up, put that cross in, or cut inside and take a shot really quickly. That's who he is, and I think he's very good at it. But if teams know what you're going to do, and that was our main outlet last season, like one of our main outlets last season, it will be easy to defend, and it will be tough for him to look different week in, week out. Now he got the numbers, and that's what I said when he joined. I said he will get the numbers. You will always get the numbers, and that's what you're gonna get with him. Period. My issue, and I think everybody's issue overall, is he played week in, week out, and when you see the same thing and you don't like it, it's gonna be ugh. You know, a bit like Cuadrado. Only Cuadrado was much worse. Or an Alexandro, also worse. But there's nothing like it's not like Chiesa, unpredictable, or Di Maria, like that type of player. It is what it is. You know what's gonna happen with Kostic. Now, apparently, he can be on the move. Premier League teams want him. Teams from the Turkish league, right? The Saudi league, all teams are looking for him. I think Sky Germany said 12 million. Well, that's not gonna happen. That's less than what we, got him. I think if you sell him, you need to get your money back, and not on the books, like just transfer fee, especially if it's through the Premier League. That's that. Would I sell Kostic? If selling Kostic means getting Berardi, then no. Like, keep Kostic. Don't waste money on Berardi. That's my stand. If we're selling Kostic to bring in Berardi, then please Kostic stay, because I don't want Berardi at the club. He's 29. I don't like his mentality. Like, he can score 1,000 goals at Sassuolo. I don't like his mindset in a period where we are going, where we need winners. We need people who actually want to be here, want to compete, week in, week out. The fact that he said no, and he said that was a reason that, man, at Sassuolo I have a starting position, and over there I need to compete. That's such a loser mentality. I'm sorry. News. I don't get it, honey. What's the news? I don't have Sky Italia on. I have nothing on. So what is the news? Let me know, because I don't have my TV on. I have Barcelona on. The fact that Berardi was like, I'm good at Sassuolo. I don't want to go to Inter or Juve back in the days, because that's where I need to compete. Bonucci to what? Who's saying that? Bonucci to Union Berlin. Who's saying that? Let me check. I don't have my TV on. Yeah, I have Barcelona on. Who's saying that? Can you let me know? Is it Romano? Let me check. Sorry, people. I'll pick up on the Kostic thing really quickly. Romano. Can move for Leon. He was out for him, no longer with us talks. After Ghost is done, they will in the next arc. Up to the player. I don't really care about Bonucci, because we're not gonna get a transfer fee. We're gonna pay him off. So it's just get it over with and get the best deal out of it, because the situation is weird. So let me get it out. That's sad if he ends up at Union Berlin. I'm sorry, but I don't care about Bonucci. We're gonna pay him off. It's just, hopefully it's yeah, he's a good source, Moreto. Yeah, that's just sad. That's if Bonucci ends up at Union Berlin, just retire, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Like, Mancini is gone. You wanted to go to the Euros. Your buddy is gone. You're not gonna go to the Euros. If Conte comes in, or Spalletti, and he calls you up, they need to get sacked. Like, it is what it is. So I don't know. Just call it a day. Like, it's Union Berlin, with all due respect. Great fans, whatever. But come on. So I don't care what Bonucci does. Like, like, just get as much, or like, don't pay him off 5 million euros. Just keep it as low as possible. That's all I'm looking for at this point. Like, where he ends up, I couldn't care less. Like, I'm being honest. What was I saying? I'm taking Berardi in a heartbeat. You're all tripping. That's fine. You know, you can like Berardi. A lot of people do like Berardi. Um, I never liked Berardi. I cannot watch Berardi. He's slow. Like everything, his movement is so slow. Everything he does, excuse me, is in slow motion. And the most painful thing is when he plays under pressure or against teams with much more quality. And then I'm talking about the Azzurri, and he looks completely off pace every single time I watch him play. He can score 1,000 goals at Sassuolo. That's good for him. But the fact that he said at Sassuolo, I'm good, you know, because if I go to Inter, if I go to Juve, I'm not sure about my starting position. That's a stinky like that's fine, but then you're not a player meant to be playing for a big club, a club that wants to win things. Because, like, what is that? Like, imagine you're not joining Man City because, man, you need to compete with Grealish or Foden or whatever. They're still joining Man City. They're competing. The best player wins a job. And if you think you're that guy, you're gonna win that job. That's how top teams are constructed. You know, they have good players in the squad and on the bench. And he says, no. I don't like it. He's 29, excuse me, and now he's making the jump. Now he's doing it. Not when we were winning and dominating the stuff. When we are in rebuild, now he's like, I'm gonna take this on. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't want him. And I'm not a big fan of Berardi, and I think I will never be. You know, it is what it is. He's 29. He doesn't get my motor running. Like, I think I saw someone saying today, oh, but he's gonna be here for years to come. Yes, okay, but like the years to come are early 30s. Some view him as he's 26, 27 now. He's 29, you know, and that's not all. Like, I'm not saying you need to retire, but come on. It's weird business, and I don't want it. But the Kostic thing, really quickly, if you want to sell him, good. Just don't bring in Berardi. I said, if you want to bring Berardi, because that's the only way you're going to change formation, then me personally, I will stick with the 3-5-2 and bring in a midfielder. I don't want to play 4-3-3 with Berardi. Like, I don't want to do that. I've seen it for Italy. You know, remember when Berardi was stuck on the right? It was terrible. It was so bad, and he played more than he should, and then Chiesa took his place. Like, he was terrible. That wasn't a high level pressure environment, and he was just bad. Period. You know, you can see he wasn't up for it. He wasn't up for it. So I don't want Berardi. I cannot believe you're being linked with Berardi. Let me check Di Marzio. Maybe he has some info on the Bonucci thing really quickly. Oh, he's open to joining Berlin. That's mad. So he's open to joining Union Berlin. Let me see if Di Marzio is actually saying something about termination of the contract or anything like that. Let me see. Because we need to pay Bonucci off, by the way. We need to pay him off. So I want to see if there's anything about actually paying him off. No. Nothing on Bonucci's payment or fee or whatever. So we just need to wait on that. Let me bring up some comments because I'm all over the place now with the news. Not expecting that. I don't hate Berardi personally, but I much prefer if they got Thuram instead and kept 3-5-2. Yeah, we don't have the money for Thuram, but I agree. It's not easy to score for big teams. Ealing Jr. is way better than Kostic, plus he's younger. Yeah, I still believe we will sign anyone. I'm on that train, but we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We need to sign somebody. You should be pushing for a younger squad. Yeah, 30 mil for Berardi. That's the big thing. 30 freaking million euros for Domenico Berardi. Like, if we are skid, we don't have a lot of money. And if you're telling me the little money we have, our limited budget you're gonna spend the entire budget basically on Domenico Berardi at the age of 29. You are insane. You're insane. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's what kind of business is that? Like, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. I will take Berardi too because of the situation we're in. We've only a Serie A game to play. For Berardi has shown that he's a solid Serie A player. I want to compete for the top spot as fast as possible. That's fair. I get that. But I don't want to be here in 2 years and we are stuck with Domenico Berardi. Because I know that's probably going to happen. I don't rate Berardi like that. I just don't rate him. I don't like him. I don't like it. It's same like Zaniolo. I don't like Zaniolo. I don't like Zaniolo. If we sell Kostic, we need the right wing back. I agree with that. But the new story is sell Kostic, switch to 4-3-3, bring in Berardi. I'm saying if that's a solution, stick to the 3-5-2, bring in defender, and let's ride it out and let's see like summer, because the team he has, and I'm going off Allegri's comments, should be finishing top four because Allegri told us we should be competing for the title this season. So hey, top four is the bare minimum. That's the goal for the club this season. So make top four, I guess, because he didn't know post Napoli game that he was getting Berardi or whoever and Weah and Cambiasso coming back. He didn't know that. So you make it happen now. You make it happen. Sorry, excuse me. Berardi is really good in this league, just like Lukaku. Berardi, Key, and Chiesa. Yeah, kill me. Just kill me. We went into last season with 3 wing backs, and this year we have 5. Yeah, like yeah, basically. But yeah, Berardi isn't even the best winger at Sassuolo. You can't compare Berardi with Lukaku. Berardi doesn't even defend. Even if we get Berardi, we aren't switching to a 4-3-3. He's going to alternate with Chiesa in the striker position, in my opinion. I don't think so. Because that's a stupid thing to do. That's wasting money completely. Like, that's wasting money completely. If you do that, that's like you're not gonna bring in Berardi for 30 million to alternate him with Chiesa with 1 game a week. Like, that's terrible. Like, the club, Juntili, whatever. Like, we don't have the money to do that. Like, that's a thing you do if we were in 2017 and you have 2 options coming off the bench. We play 1 game a week. You cannot pay 30 million euros for Berardi to be the backup to Chiesa, basically. Because Chiesa is the main guy. Like, what is he going to play Chiesa? 1 week yes, 1 week no? Like, that's not going to happen. He is the main guy. So I'm going to say no because it's just not logical, financially speaking, If we are a stacked squad, then yes, you bring in alternatives. But we're not. So you cannot sign 30 million euros Berardi to be the backup to Chiesa and play once every single month? Because let's say we play 4 games a month, 5 games a month. Are you going to bench Chiesa twice? That's why you signed 30 million euros Berardi? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. You don't do that. You don't do that. So I think if you bring in Berardi, you need to change formation. Otherwise, I don't know what the idea is of spending 30 million euros. Then you sign a Diarra and you stick to a 3-5-2. If you're not going to change formation, then bring in a midfielder, bring in a DM then. I don't know. We're not in Europe this year, so we don't Berardi. If you can't compete for the title with the squad, I don't see why Berardi is going to help in a 3-5-2. Again, if we sign Berardi, I don't think it's going to be a 3-5-2. It makes no sense. He's not a wingback. And Chiesa is going to start. So I believe we play in 4-3-3, then I would take Berardi, but I don't think we're playing 4-3-3. Again, I want to play 4-3-3 or something else from a back 3 because I don't want to see Danilo and Sandro playing center back. I just don't want to see it, So I'm all for a 4-3-3, but I don't want Berardi. It's as simple as that. Like, the Berardi links, the Zaniolo links, like, those are links that just make me sad. There's no other way to put it because I don't like those players. I don't like him. I never do. I never did, to be honest. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Because if you want to, let's say you are in the Champions League next season, then you're stuck with players like Berardi who are not good enough. They're not good enough. Like they have no pace. They're extremely slow in whatever they do. Like you see it at the Euros. Like it was embarrassing. And he was playing against uh, a very poor Turkish side, and a Swiss side that was decent, if I'm being honest. But like still, like he wasn't playing world class players, and he was struggling. He couldn't skip past players. It was extremely slow. It was predictable, and he's not that guy. Um, People liked the video because only 12 likes. That's kind of sad. So please like the video. Subscribe if you're new as well, because it's game week almost for me, and we have a lot of content uh, coming your way this week. New content, different content. So stay tuned for that as well. Um, but yeah, moving back to yesterday, and are we ready? Because I went completely off. But Adi was really good against Belgium. And when was that? Did he play? Oh yeah, he played. Okay, I remember that. Wait. Oh yeah, he did play. No, he didn't play. He came on right off the bench. Didn't Chiesa start that game? Didn't Chiesa start that game? I think Chiesa started that game, and he came off the bench. And I guess I don't remember it. It wasn't that good, I guess. He was terrible the previous game, so that's all I remember, and that's why he got benched. Um, Now back to yesterday, and are we ready for the season? I talked about Cambiasso. Um, Obviously, I'm not going to talk about Chiesa because he's the main guy. He's going to start. Vlahovic is there, so he's going to start as long as he's there. The other player I want to discuss is Timothy Weah, because from what I've seen this far, I think there's no news on Sule. Actually, Giovanni Albanese said that Frosinone are just loaning Barnechea because they were also interested in Sule and Gonzalez, but as of now, they're not gonna pursue signing Sule and Gonzalez. There are no offers, loan offers, but no real offers, and the club, wants to sell Sule, so that's that. But Timothy Weah, from what I've seen this so far, I think he can do damage in this league. He still needs to learn his positioning. Even yesterday, there were moments where he was a bit too eager going forward and forgetting that, you also need to track back a few times. Now, Atalanta were really poor, especially in that first half. Like, they had absolutely nothing. That being said, he's fast. I think he's good in possession, better than I remember, to be honest. Again, I've not seen that much from Timothy Weah, but from what I remember, he's much better in possession. I still think we are asking a little, not enough from him, in my opinion, because I think you need to give him more responsibilities in terms of what you gave Cuadrado in trying to beat opponent, because he's fast, he has good feet, and he can do damage. He can do damage. It's just the issue is, even last season, our transitions were extremely slow. Like, I thought somebody on Twitter, I forgot the account, he made an entire compilation of all our transitions, counterattacks, whatever you want to call it, and it was a clip from about, let's say, 3 minutes, a solid 3 minutes, and it was hilarious and it was sad to see at the same time, because I don't know how many times we were on the counter and we were countering with 2 players, and it took ages before anyone just came strolling in, and then most of the time it was Rabiot, and you were like, okay, this is not good. Now with Chiesa, it needs, like, even with Rabiot, because he has quite, like, he doesn't have lightning pace, but like he has big holes when he runs, and you should be doing more with that. You should, because if you're gonna sit back, I don't think we're gonna sit back as much as we did last season, but at least be decent when you win the ball back, and that's what we have been doing preseason for half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever. But if you don't do that, like in the second half against Atalanta, you need to have that weapon where it needs to be quick, Chiesa, Weah, because all these players, they need to get up really quickly. And I think Weah can do damage. The only thing what's missing, in my opinion, besides his positioning at times, is you need to give him more confidence or the direction to actually try to enter the box, because he's good at it. He's very good at it from what I've seen. And he's what Cuadrado was maybe a few years back, maybe not that fast, but like it was difficult to kind of stop Cuadrado when he was in possession of the ball and he was very close to the box. Probably was gonna happen most of the times. He's gonna do that quick dribble and he's gone, putting in a ball, taking a shot, whatever. I think Weah can do the same thing. It's just, are we gonna ask him to do that? That's the biggest question now. So let's see. But like Cambiasso and Weah might be starting. I wouldn't be shocked if Weah's bench, Cambiasso's bench, but like going off preseason, going off the latest Kostic news, it's not a surprise if Cambiasso starts next week. Weah is gonna start, but like especially Cambiasso, I don't think that's I don't think it's a surprise. I'm starting Keane over Vlahovic. I'm not. No. Like, not against Udinese, not against Bologna, not ever, and unless you need to rest Vlahovic. So I'm not doing that. I question if Max Allegri has Juve sitting fourth spot by round 12. Doesn't Juve show him the door? No, because he's on pace to do what the club asked him to do this season, and that's make top four. So the club is not going to do that. So that's that. The transition footage was against Sampdoria. I think it was one of our early games of the season. The defenders couldn't find a midfielder to pass about to go on to pass about to go an entire 2 minutes. That Sampdoria game was bad. That Sampdoria game was poor. I remember that was probably one of the worst games you will ever see, because it was that on both sides. I remember just Kostic missing a clear-cut chance in the last second. He needed to put that away. Other than that game was terrible. Like, that was good. I'm happy Sampdoria are down, because I hated to play Sampdoria. Bad thing Genoa are up. But yeah. Excuse me. What did everyone think of Dusan's preseason? For me, it didn't really impress me. It wasn't bad, but not enough in my opinion. Didn't play much, to be honest. Played 20 minutes against under 23s. Played yesterday, and then he didn't really train with the season. And again, like the transfer is weird. I don't know how you prep as a player, not being sure where the hell am I gonna play. Like, how is he going? Like, I put myself in Vlahovic. I think last week I was like, he's going to training, but he knows, man, these guys are trying to ship my ass to Chelsea, but I need to show up here, train. Not for what? Just stay fit, obviously, but like, what's really the point? Listening to how we're gonna play, tactics, setting up. Very strange to go in training with the idea of they're trying to ship me out. Am I gonna be here? Yes or no? Am I gonna be living in London next week? Whatever. Or am I gonna play for Chelsea next week? Like, it's a weird thing to go into the season. That's why I said, like, this is ridiculous. Like, Chelsea say no, you better call it off now, money or no money, because it's weird. Like, it's 70 days or 18 days, let's say 70 days before the end of the window, and it's weird. Why did everyone think Dusan preseason? Oh no, that's a good point. I didn't consider those things enough. Keane was untouchable versus Real Madrid. Yeah, he played a good game. He looks sharp, Keane, but Keane a lot of times looks sharp in preseason, and then when he plays games, you're like, what am I watching over here, buddy? I hope he does well. I hope he does extremely well, which is good for us. Like, I don't hate if Keane plays well. I just play Vlahovic. But if Keane comes on and does extremely well, I'm going to praise him. I'm going to be happy and keep him moving, because I want to win things. If Lukaku joins, I'll hate that idea. I don't like Lukaku. But at the end of the day, if he makes us win games, we will all be sitting here and be like, yeah, we're winning games. But I will still say I don't like the deal. I'll keep saying that. But if you win games, things change. Like that's how football fans are. You can still say, I don't like Bonucci personally. After the Milan thing, I'm not a fan of his. But he came back. He helped us win stuff in the early years, and I took it on board. We just keep it moving because that's what football is all about now. It's not about morals or whatever you want to call it. Like it is what it is. Like football fans are idiots, me included. So if Lukaku comes in and he starts bagging in goals, you'll celebrate those goals. Like nobody's gonna tell me you're not gonna celebrate those goals. It's just the idea of having Lukaku. Whatever I think. Oh no, what am I doing? Yeah, like his Vlahovic, his issue apparently it's resolved. It's not that bad, or like resolved. I'm not saying resolved, but it's okay now. It's in a much better place, but it's still something to look out for, in my opinion. And maybe that is what Chelsea are thinking at this moment in time. But I think they're just focused on getting Caicedo in and Lavia in and whatever, because I watch Chelsea and that doesn't look like a team that almost spent 1 billion dollars, whatever, euros, pounds. Because if I hear you spend 1 billion, let's say 750, and what I've watched against Liverpool, something is up. Like I know it's up. You overpay for a lot of players, but that was not good. So let's see. Let's see. Apparently Tottenham are in for Lukaku. I think that's an easy link to make. Kane is gone. Uh, excuse me. Kane is gone, so it's an easy link. I was just waiting for that link to come. I don't think he's gonna go Tottenham at that point. He will join the Saudi league. Because that's just sad for him. Caicedo is done. Well, that's what Liverpool thought. So that deal, if he doesn't hold up a shirt from a team, I'm gonna say it's not done. So yeah, what he just said is exactly what I don't care about Quadrado joining Inter. Go make your money, boo boo. Yeah, and he's not even making his money. It's 2 million. He could have got a lot more in the Saudi league. But people people are mad about Quadrado. I'm not one of those people because I never considered him to be a legend, whatever people want to call him. So I'm cool. I'm calm with it. If Buffon or Del Piero or Chiellini would have joined Inter, then I would have been pissed. But it's not one of those levels like Quadrado, like Dybala. Like he was linked to Inter last season. He wanted to join Inter. You still have people saying no. It was out there. Like Maroto admitted it. He filmed with his agent, whatever. His agent saying positive talks, whatever. And then Lukaku came available, and they took Lukaku. But Dybala was moving to Inter if they didn't get Lukaku. He joined Roma on a fluky deal with a very low release clause in it, which makes you believe that he doesn't want to be there. But it is what it is. He needed to go there. Otherwise, where is he going? I wasn't mad about Dybala joining Inter because that's today's football, and I don't consider in certain players a legend. So I'm calm with it. If Locatelli decides to join Inter, I'm not mad. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. It. I'm not losing sleep over it. That's what I'm saying. We don't have, in my opinion, in this squad, we don't have legend material at this moment in time. Looking at the trajectory of the club, if we were winning stuff like 2012, then I could say, yeah, Chiesa is gonna be one, probably, whatever. Locatelli will probably be viewed as one if we are actually that good as back then. But as of now, with the trajectory we're on, I don't think anyone can say we have here a legend in the making at the club, because the club is trying to push out Chiesa and Vlahovic. You can say for Joli and Gatti, that's fine, I get it, but like, it's easier to call somebody a legend if you're winning stuff, if that makes sense, unless you're Steven Gerrard, of course. He won the Champions League, but you get the grasp. Did you see my boy Szoboszlai? I did. Got it. We didn't get him ever. let's hope for a positive season and always fina fina. Yeah, that's the main thing. Hopefully, we will have a positive start of the season. We will go over it during this week because I was planning to do a video and I waited because I'm like, I'm gonna make predictions, I'm gonna make potential lineups, and I can look like a complete fool in 2 days time because maybe the player I'm saying play him is not at the club. Maybe we have somebody else signed. Maybe Udinese have somebody else signed. So I'm gonna wait for that as well. Still some time. Yeah, for some people, Capitano Danilo is a legend, and that's actually true. I've seen people make that debate, and it, it won't get sadder than that. And they're not trolling; they're that serious, and that makes it even more sad because the moment you call Danilo a legend is the moment you just call it off. Just change the name of the club, whatever, and start all over again because that's ridiculous. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Tomorrow I will be live. Um I think with some transfer news to discuss, even if it's just sales. I think we will have something to discuss. Uh, there will be out a monthly review. There will be out 2 previews this season because it's gonna switch up. Hopefully a podcast this week, and hopefully Julian and Justin are back with their Afterlife Dark. That should be back also this season. So stay tuned for that. Like this video if you haven't, and a lot of people didn't like it because I can see that from the numbers. Like this video on your way out. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow evening, same time as